Welcome to Let Us Seek the Lord. Today is January 26th, and we're reading from Genesis 27. And I'm going to read from this straight from my Bible rather than printing it out because it's a really long chapter. So let's get busy reading. Now it came to pass when Isaac was old, and his eyes were so dim that he couldn't see, that he called Esau, his older son, and said to him, "My son." And he answered him, "Here I am." And he said, "Behold, now I'm old, and I don't know the day of my death. Now therefore, please take your weapons, your quiver and your bow, and go out to the field and hunt game for me. And make me savory food, such as I love, and bring it to me that I may eat, that my soul may bless you before I die." Now Rebekah was listening when Isaac spoke to Esau, her son. And Esau went to the field to hunt game and to bring it. So Rebekah spoke to Jacob, her son, saying, "Indeed, I heard your father saying to Esau, your brother, 'Bring me game and make savory food for me, that I may eat it and bless you in the presence of the Lord before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to what I command you. Go now to the flock and bring me from there 2 choice kids of the goats, and I will make savory food from them for your father, such as he loves. Then you shall take it to your father, that he may eat it, and that he may bless you before his death." Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, "Look, Esau, my brother is a hairy man, and I'm a smooth-skinned man. Perhaps my father will feel me, and I shall seem to be a deceiver to him, and I'll bring a curse on myself and not a blessing." But his mother said to him, "Let your curse be on me, my son. Only obey my voice and go and get them for me." And he went, he got them. He brought them to his mother, and his mother made savory food, such as his father loved. And Rebekah took the choice clothes of her elder son Esau, which were with her in the house, and he put them on Jacob, the younger son. And he put the skins of the kids on the goats and on his hands and on the smooth part of his neck. Then she gave the savory food and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. So he went to his father and said, "My father." And he said, "Here I am. Who are you, my son?" And Jacob said to his father, "I'm Esau, your firstborn. I have done just as you told me. Please arise, sit and eat of my game, that your soul may bless me." But Isaac said to his son, "How is it you found it so quickly, my son?" And he said, "Oh, because the Lord your God brought it to me." Then Isaac said to Jacob, "Please come near, that I may feel you, my son, whether you really are Esau or not." So Jacob went near to Isaac and his father, and he felt him. The voice is like Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he didn't recognize him because his hands were hairy like his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. Then he said, "Are you really my son, Esau?" And he said, "I am." And he said, "Well, bring it near to me, and I'll eat my son's game, so that my soul may bless you." So he brought it near to him, and he ate, and he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said to him, "Come near now and kiss me, my son." And he came near, and he kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his clothing, and he blessed him and said, "Surely the smell of my son is like the smell of a field which the Lord has blessed. Therefore may God give you the dew of heaven, the fatness of earth, plenty of grain and wine, and let people serve you, and nations bow down to you. Be master over your brethren, and let your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be everyone who curses you, and blessed be those who bless you." Now it happened as soon as as soon as Isaac had finished blessing Jacob, and Jacob had secretly gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. He also made savory food and brought it to his father, and said to his father, "Let my father arise and eat his son's game, that your soul may bless me." And his father Isaac said to him, "Who are you?" So he said, "I'm your son, your firstborn, Esau." Then Isaac trembled exceedingly. He said, "Who? Where is the one who hunted game and brought it to me? I ate all of it before you came, and I've blessed him. And indeed, he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with an exceedingly great and bitter cry and said to his father, Father, bless me also, O my father. But he said, Your brother came with deceit, and he's taken away your blessing. And Esau said, Is he not rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and now he's taken away my blessing. And he said, Haven't you reserved a blessing for me? Then Isaac answered and said to Esau, Indeed, I've made him your master, and all his brethren I've given to him as servants. With grain and with wine I've sustained him. What shall I do for you now, my son? And Esau said to his father, Have you only one blessing, my father? Bless me also, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice, and he wept. And Isaac, his father, answered and said to him, Behold, your dwelling shall be of the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. By your sword you shall live, and you shall serve your brother. And it shall come to pass when you become restless that you'll break his yoke from your neck. So Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing with which his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand, and then I'll kill my brother Jacob. The words of Esau, her older son, were told to Rebekah. So she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said to him, Surely your brother Esau comforts himself concerning you by intending to kill you. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, and arise and flee to my brother Laban in Haran, and stay with him for a few days, until your brother's fury turns away, and he forgets what you've done to him. And I will send and bring you from there. Why should I be bereaved also of you both in one day? And Rebekah said to Isaac, I'm weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob takes a wife for the daughters of Heth like these, who are the daughters of this land, what good would my life be? We begin the stories of parental rivalry. When there's only one child in the house, there's no problem with parents playing favorites. When there's only one child in the family, there's no problem with sibling rivalry. I don't recall my parents ever playing favorites, although I am the last of 5. Maybe my siblings would disagree. My wife suggests that I was spoiled. I guess it made her job a little difficult. Hey, can I help it if I'm the smartest, the biggest, the strongest, the best looking, the most sociable, the most self-confident of the pack? Sorry, guys, but sometimes we just have to face reality. Now, speaking of reality, let me get back to it. Laura and I have always attempted to love our children equally and not play favorites. I tell my daughter frequently that she's my favorite daughter. I tell my oldest son that he's my favorite oldest son. I tell my second son that he's my favorite second son. I tell my third son that he's my favorite third son. And my youngest son, I tell him he's my youngest son, a favorite youngest son. I guess it's one of the ways that I have of trying to communicate to them that I love them for their uniqueness, and I love them equally. In Isaac's family, there was a big problem. Isaac and Rebekah played favorites, and it was very obvious. Maybe being the only child of the promise blinded Isaac to the problems that it would cause. Maybe seeing his half-siblings all sent away from home caused him to think it's okay to play favorites. The parental favoritism only fueled the sibling rivalry, and it skyrocketed into full flames. Rebekah had asked the Lord when the boys were in the womb what was happening in my womb was what she asked. And the Lord told her, 2 nations are in your womb. 2 peoples will be separated from your body. Only the older will serve the younger. How could Rebekah not tell Isaac of that experience? I'm sure she did. Isaac knew what the Lord had told Rebekah. Did he believe her? I doubt it. He is about to pass the blessing on to the older whom God said would serve the younger. Why didn't God communicate the message directly to Isaac? Maybe it was because Isaac didn't care enough to ask about the struggle in Rebekah's womb. Rather than stooping to deception when Isaac was making a bad decision, why didn't Rebekah go to Isaac and remind him of what the Lord had said? Well, I get the impression that they had had that conversation one too many times, and Rebekah was convinced that it would be useless. Esau was a man's man, wild at heart. He put no value in spiritual things and thus despised God. Jacob was a conniving mama's boy, large and muscular to be sure, but he preferred the flock over the hunt. He saw some value in spiritual things, but he felt the need to connive to get those spiritual things for himself. So some mercy need to be extended on both of them. Esau married into the daughters of Heth. Remember, Abraham would not allow Isaac to marry one of the girls of the land? I suggest it was because of a problem it would cause with the covenant and with the land and perhaps even with the Nephilim. Esau and Jacob had known Grandpa Abraham till they were 15. And when Abraham died, I'm sure that Abraham communicated the value of the covenant to both of them. Apparently, Esau didn't care. All those stories about the appearances of God were probably in his mind just the fertile ground of an old man. And when his instinct for starting a family kicked in, he married the one who pleased him most, and he didn't even stop to think of how it might affect the covenant and the land. So what if she was an ungodly Canaanitess? Well, you know the story. Jacob got the Abrahamic blessing. You know, neither Jacob nor Esau were worthy of the blessing. Jacob wanted the blessing, but he had a very conniving heart. That is where the glory of the Lord comes into play. In his mercy, the Lord comes to Jacob and meets him where he is at, and promises to give the covenant of Abraham and Isaac to him. You know, there's nothing in me that is worthy of the way the Lord loves me. But he does love me. He has billions of children. None of us are worthy of the love that he's shed upon us. But he does love us. Some of his children are more talented than others, but he does not love the more talented ones more than the less talented ones. Some of his children do greater exploits than others, but he does not love the ones who do greater exploits more than the ones that do lesser exploits. He loves us all, genuinely, uniquely, completely. He comes to me and he says, "You're my favorite 6 billionth son." I really don't know what number I am. So he really doesn't say that. But he does say this: I love you genuinely, I love you uniquely, and I love you completely. When I hear that, and I think on it, and I let it sink into my wicked heart, which has been made clean by him, that's all I need. That's all I need. Indeed, we serve a glorious King. Speak his glory to someone today.